What's up, y'all? Night's Edge here. Got this Hogue Deka taken apart. Been messing with it for like a solid 45 minutes, trying to get this thing back together. And this is a whole disassembly video, but the first 45 minutes are gone. The thing deleted because, well, I deleted it because the camera didn't have enough space to flip it over in a 16:9. But also, while I was recording, I took so long putting this thing, back together that the phone was overheating from using the camera for, I say even with the intro it was probably a solid, altogether was a solid hour, which is a long disassembly. But anyway, once that happened, I kind of flipped it around, tried to put it back together a bunch of different ways, messed up at it, undid it, put it back together. The washer, there's two washers in here, and I'm not going to take this thing apart again because it was a pain in the butt. This is a crossbar lock, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know that's watching. You slide this back and the blade closes when you open it. It slides into place, locks it in place. This bar locks it. There's a little spring right here that goes, maybe you can see it. You can kind of see it in the background there against the tan, against the handle on the other side in the background, that little spring. It hooks from there, goes down, and hooks to here. So that's what gives you your tension that causes that to go back into place. So anyway, the thing that was killing me before trying to get this thing back together was this over travel stop and this little bolster or whatever you want to call this thing, bushing, I guess. But the main thing that was hurting me was trying to put this thing back together, and get it, like, whenever I would put this on here, this plate's got a twist, right? So this plate will come off of here, and this has to go in through this wide opening hole right here. And in order for that to happen, the plate's off, so there's nothing holding this over travel stop pin in here. So this kept falling out. That was one issue I was having. And the washer, this washer that's on this side, you kind of see it in there on the left hand side, that washer also, as soon as I would get this right where I wanted it, would fall out. That didn't help either. But the main thing that I didn't realize when putting this thing back together is you have to take the other side loose as well, the other plate, liner, whatever you want to call it. That has to be, you have to be able to slide this back like this and down into that little hole right there. Once you do that for both sides, it's easy to get it back. All right, and then it's just a matter of keeping your stop pin and your washer from going out of place. So long story short, that's what kept happening. That's why it took so long. I'm actually kind of glad that it didn't, that I had to delete it, because I was gonna post it, but I had to delete it because I didn't have enough space to convert it to 16:9, and plus, like I said, the phone was overheating because I was taking too long. It would have been over an hour, and it would have been a lot of frustration involved. But still got to put this thing back together, so thought I'd take the time to at least record what hopefully a little bit of time it takes for me to get this thing back together after disassembling it. It's got T8 screws all the way around, which is a good thing. I put on the washers some of this Slick-em-all. This is made by OCD for EDC. He's got a website. You can see it right there, ocdforedc.com. This stuff he kind of makes in small batches. It's really good stuff. It comes with this little injector. Looks like a bad habit, but it's not. It's more like grease than like an oil. So it works really good for washers. So anyway, that's what I put kind of right there where the washers are at. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this thing back together. Here's a little bit of blue Loctite. Put that on there. Always use blue Loctite, never use the red stuff. If you use the red stuff, you're gonna have a real fun time trying to disassemble that knife again the next time you do it, because that red stuff, it's a lot harder to get off than the blue stuff. So I got that screw back in. That there. I thought, I don't know, I guess I never really noticed. I might have mentioned it in the review or whatever, I can't remember, but I never really noticed the fact this thing does actually, even like for a small knife, it seems like it's got a lot of hardware. So you got the pivot, that I had to take loose, but also you got 1, 2, 3 there, you know, plus the hell on earth that is the actual crossbar lock itself. If you've never done it, I'm sure for a lot of people watching it, it's easy, you know. It just takes some doing, which this was my first time disassembling a crossbar lock knife, so I guess I can't be too hard on myself, you know, but I really thought it would go a lot smoother and not take nearly as long as it did. But anyway, it does have a lot of hardware, it seems like to me, that goes on this little bitty knife. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting one, you know. Just bear in mind that it's gonna be an adventure disassembling and maintaining this thing if you haven't done it before, or especially if you haven't taken apart a crossbar lock knife before. I'm not trying to dig on crossbar lock knives. Personally, I really prefer another, you know, liner lock, frame lock, something like that over a crossbar lock knife, just because of the fact that I don't really care for the detent too much, or the lack thereof, whatever, on a crossbar lock knife. But now, after doing that hellaciously long and thankfully deleted before part of this disassembly, I do have another reason to hate crossbar lock knives, I guess, which after doing that, and learning from it and finally figuring it out, I was really happy with myself. I did not pull up a Shabazz video for once, to try to bail me out in the middle of a disassembly. I've disassembled frame locks, liner locks, button locks, the super lock by Civivi with that Vision FG, back lock, triad lock. I've done all those before and haven't had nearly as much problems as I have with this crossbar lock. Like I said, I think it just takes some doing. I'm not trying to say that it's rocket science or that it's something that's an incredibly, you know, it's not something that you can't learn how to do. And now I think that I learned how to do it, and I, you know, at least did it before, you know. Maybe maybe it won't be so hard next time. And I did one thing that I just noticed. Oh man, I had to take it right back apart. This one might be as long as the last one. I hope not. One thing that I did just notice, and I'll show you guys. Anybody that's done this before is going to start laughing whenever they see this. So let me take this last screw out. And if you're experienced with doing crossbar lock knives, you're about to get a good laugh, because you've probably done this before, hopefully. But one thing that I did just notice is this laying over here on the side. So isn't that nice? That is the spring. That's part of the lock. So that's always good, you know. The knife does not work without it. So that's always a fun thing to find after you get it almost all the way back together, right? So we'll just take that, put it back on there. Nice and easy, right? Maybe, hopefully. got that hooked on there. Oh, came off. Alright. Move that around. Hook it back right there. Push it down. Push it down. Come on. Dang it. Get this little, whatever, this pry bar thing that I got. Trying to see if I can, yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's locked on there now. Alright, now I'm gonna start putting this thing back together again. Whew, man. I'm telling you, like, everything it seems like doing this that could possibly go wrong has went wrong. Everything. I forgot the spring, the phone overheated trying to do the video, too much, not enough memory to convert it to 16:9. Put the damn thing back together, put the handle all the way on there almost. Putting the last screw in and see the spring laying underneath my hand. So it's been a heck of an adventure doing this thing. I thought it'd maybe take 20-25 minutes, something like that total, to do this video, to record it, and, you know, start converting it, all that stuff. But it has been shoot, about 2 hours total, I think. I've been messing with this. I'm hoping I'm at the tail end of this thing. I really don't see anything else I missed. I don't see any more hardware laying around. You can tell that I did take it apart all the way and clean it. Got all the little stuff out of it. Wish I could have kept that video, but like I said, it's probably for the best that nobody sees that, because there's a lot of frustration involved there. And I kind of worked through it, you know, as good adults tend to do, try to do, don't do, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, last screw, I'm trying just to put like just a little bit of blue Loctite. I'm probably putting a little too much, really, but I'm really just trying to put a little bit on there. Because a little bit of that stuff goes a long ways. Go ahead and tighten all the screws back up. Tighten the pivot up. Make sure the screws on the other side are tightened up. Yeah, I mean, it seems like this thing, for such a small knife, seems like it's got an excessive amount of hardware, but it might just seem like it's got an excessive amount of hardware to me, just because of the fact that, you know, I just took apart a crossbar lock for the first time in my life, and it's taken about 3 or 4 times longer than I expected. So maybe that's kind of impacting my overall opinion of the knife. I don't know. Pivot, I don't want to tighten it down too much. Alright. So it's not catching like it was. I showed this again on the last video that I accidentally deleted. Well, not accidentally deleted. It took too long. Phone overheated and then had to delete it. But on the beginning part of this that I couldn't show, it was kind of bothering me that whenever I disengage this thing, when I went to pull back on this, it was sticking. It seems like it's not doing that as much anymore, really. So taking it apart, cleaning out all the grime and all the stuff out of it actually did help. So 2 hours, you know, as much time as I've spent making this, I really don't think it was worth it if it took that long every time. Now, do I think it was worth it to do it and to go through all the frustration and everything? Yeah, I think so. Just because of the fact that I know what I did wrong. I know what to look for now. You know, I know how to put that mechanism back in there. I know to be careful and watch out for the spring when I'm putting it back together. Make sure I didn't forget that on the side. And, you know, it definitely was a learning experience. And any learning experience always helps you out in life. So that's a good thing. Anyway, Hogue Deka, great knife. Hard to disassemble if you've never done a crossbar lock. Probably the easiest disassembly in the world for some people. This thing's still a little loose. I need to tighten that up a little bit. Yeah. A little too tight. Center and all that seems pretty good. No blade play, minimal blade play. Always put them back a little bit tighter than I prefer them, just because I know whenever you work them in and out, whenever you flip them, it's gonna tend to loosen a little bit with wear. So anyway, Hogue Deka, great knife. Thank you guys for putting up with this half of a disassembly video. Like I said, the first half was, or the first 3/4 was pretty rough. You know, and I still would have put it, you know, I still would have published it, but I couldn't, like, I couldn't convert it, and then the phone started overheating and all that good stuff. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody that watches the channel, subscribes to the channel. Anybody that watches all the way to like this point, that's crazy. I appreciate it. Knight's Edge, _Knights_Edge, the channel that you're watching right now. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content. Also, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and I have an email for contact. All that should be linked down below for the video. And I really appreciate you guys watching. And hopefully the next disassembly we have will go a little bit smoother. But I am a little bit wiser after going through all that. So I really appreciate you guys putting up with me and watching the whole disassembly video. And anybody that watches my videos and is subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And pretty cool hobby, pretty great community, I think. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Later.